So today we're going to talk about 2.7 major Virginia documents. So the state of Virginia had quite a few founding fathers that lived in it at the time. And because of that, there were some pretty important documents that were just based in Virginia, but ended up inspiring the U.S. Constitution. So today we're going to talk about a couple of those documents and the important people behind those documents as well. So two important individuals from Virginia was George Washington and James Madison. So both of them were from Virginia. George Washington lived at Mount Vernon, and Madison actually lived in a town called Orange, Virginia. Now, George Washington is important for a variety of reasons, but in this case, we're going to talk about the fact that he was a leader of the Constitutional Convention. Now, at the time, George Washington was actually a fairly tall and large man. He wasn't overweight by any means, but for the time period, he was much bigger than a lot of the other men and was a little bit of a dominating force. There's actually rumors that he would hit you with his cane if people weren't paying attention during the Constitutional Convention. James Madison, on the other hand, was very well written and is known as the father of the Constitution. We're also going to talk about some of the important documents that James Madison wrote for Virginia that inspired the Constitution, which is part of the reason as to why he was the father of the Constitution, meaning that he kind of undertook the writing of the Constitution with the input of everybody else at the Constitutional Convention. Okay, so here we have two additional major founding fathers, and we have Alexander Hamilton, who actually was not from Virginia. So he's going to be the only person that we talk about not from Virginia, but he's an important figure to know. So we included him in here. So we'll say not from Virginia. He was actually an immigrant and lived in New York City. But he was very much in support for a strong central government. And he was part of a political group called the Federalists. And the Federalists supported a strong central government. That's what they went for, as they realized after the Articles of Confederation that they needed a strong central government. George Mason was another man from Virginia. And George Mason was known because he wrote the Virginia Declaration of Rights. And this helped to inspire the Bill of Rights for the U.S. Constitution. So next we have Thomas Jefferson and Patrick Henry, both again from Virginia. Thomas Jefferson was known for the Declaration of Independence. And the Virginia Statue of Religious Freedom. Again, inspiration for the Bill of Rights. Patrick Henry was known for saying, "Give me liberty or give me death." So this idea of either give us freedom and make sure that we have and protect our freedoms, or, give us death. We don't want to live if we don't have our freedoms. So both of these documents here were both written in Virginia, and they both influenced the Bill of Rights, which are the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution, which protects individual freedoms. So first we have the Virginia Declaration of Rights, and this was written by George Mason in 1776. But it was also written with support from James Madison as well. And the idea was to protect individual freedoms. In addition, you had the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom, and this was written by Thomas Jefferson. And it allowed for religious freedom in Virginia. And again, both of these influenced the Bill of Rights. So today we talk about how all the influential figures from Virginia, and then Alexander Hamilton, who is from New York, but also very influential that you needed to know, and how their great ideas influenced not just the Constitution, but also the Bill of Rights, and how two key Virginia documents, including the Virginia Declaration of Rights and the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom, really influenced the Bill of Rights and protecting individual freedoms with the new government.